What I have learned in Alcoholics Anonymous is I drink for the effect produced by alcohol. It doesn't matter if I have a good day, a bad day, an average day. I was planning a drink. And once I started, I just could not and did not want to stop. So I would say get a copy of the book, Alcoholics Anonymous, and read it. See if you can identify with the stories in the back, or you can identify with the description of an alcoholic that's in that book. And if you're questioning it, you may be an alcoholic.
I've heard it through the grapevine.
Welcome. It's the AA Grapevine half-hour variety hour featuring the collected voices of Alcoholics Anonymous. I'm Don, an alcoholic in Greensboro, North Carolina.
And I'm Bob, an alcoholic in Charlotte, North Carolina.
Bob, what are you doing here?
I'm not sure, Don. No, actually, I'm helping you out today. We're going to interview Suzy, and we're going to do something that's focused on corrections, which is something that I've been involved with for over 30 years, with meetings into facilities.
Nice. Bob helps me with editing the podcast, making us sound professional, despite all the evidence to the contrary. Bob, we want to get to know you a bit.
Oh, well, my sobriety date is October 12th of 1984, and my home group is the Southern Pacific Group in Charlotte, North Carolina, and
that always makes me think of a train engine.
There is a Southern Pacific Railroad.
Yes,
the group is based on the Pacific Group out of Los Angeles, and for what I understand, there is another Southern Pacific Group somewhere in Texas that's also based on the Pacific Group. So that's how it got its name. I know it's kind of crazy, but there was a guy who moved here to Charlotte many years ago who started this group who had come from the Pacific Group. So that's how that happened.
Did you get sober in Charlotte?
No, I got sober in Northern Virginia, right outside of Washington, D.C. My last night of drinking involved a very glamorous run-in with the law and running into a woman I'd gone into high school with who was one of my arresting officers. Which was
Great.
Which was, of course, I was trying to act nonchalant and make small talk as I was being arrested. So,
very suave.
Yes, that's me.
And you've done a lot of corrections work in your recovery.
Right. I started doing jails, and then I ended up going to the Lincolnton Correctional Facility 32 years ago, and I still am involved with that facility and now go to a lot of different facilities around the state. It's been one of the greatest things that's happened to me since I've been sober. And I know that it's the kind of service work that might not be for everybody, but I have to tell you that I love people that are involved in corrections. And I loved going to corrections conferences. And I love people that got sober in prison. I love all that stuff.
You have invited a guest today. Who's this?
This is Suzy W., who has some experience doing corrections work and what AA in corrections is like.
This is going to be good, but first, we know that the holidays are coming, so today we're going to play a round of our exciting holiday game, Sobriety Squabble!
Woohoo! All right, let's bring in Olis so I don't have to do this by myself, but the last time I saw her, she was in our Grapevine Clubhouse basement vault doing some research in the archives.
No worries. I'll just go to the control panel over here, and Sam rigged up an intercom in the clubhouse. I'll just page her. Alice S., you are wanted in the recording studio, please.
Hi, Don. Hi, Bob. You two are in full flight from reality. We don't have a Grapevine Clubhouse. I'm in Oakland. And I'm ready to play the game.
Well, I wish we had a clubhouse, but at any rate, it's time to play Sobriety Squabble, where you guess the top 5 responses to our topical question, how do we reduce stress and stay sober during the holidays? Olis, Sam and I met Penny P. from Livermore, California on the September 15th episode, but you...
Penny's my friend. I love Penny.
I knew it. Well, she polled the Global Speakers Group from Shanghai, China, and the On Awakening Group from Melbourne, Australia, Both groups host international online meetings, and the members responded to our question. I tallied them all up by frequency into the top 5 answers to the question, how do we reduce stress and stay sober during the holidays? Y'all are going to take turns guessing the top 5. Okay, to see who goes first.
I arm wrestle you for it, Bob.
She'll win.
And there was, and down Olis. Okay, Olis, you won. So you go first. How do we stay sober and stress-free during the holidays?
My number 1 answer is we go to meetings.
Going to meetings is ding, 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 number 1. That included staying connected and attending face-to-face meetings as well as online meetings and scheduling a meeting a day.
Okay, Bob, you're up next. Let's see what you got.
Avoid family at all costs.
That is not on the list.
Oh, that's really surprising, isn't it?
That does reduce stress for some. Alice, we're back to you.
Talk to your sponsor.
Ding, 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 ding. That fits right in number 2 on our list. Stay connected with members. Calls, texts, sponsor, fellowship.
I have the advantage of I'm accustomed to working with Crazy Don, and so I know how to be on an adventure. Come on, Bob, be on an adventure.
Bob.
Make sure that you have your own transportation for any holiday gathering.
Ding, 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 ding. Number 5, have an exit plan. Have an escape plan. Have a safe place to pause, pray, regulate.
This is in place of you can't avoid your relatives altogether.
That's right. Alice has 2 points. Bob has 1. Alice, we're back to you.
I think another tip is have a sober buddy that you do things with.
Take another guess because that fits in with stay connected with members, which was our number 2 guess that's already on the board.
Okay, have AA literature with you, like the Grapevine, so that if you get a little bit antsy, you've got something to turn to.
Ooh, I like that answer. But that's not on there.
It's not on the list. Oh.
So far we have go to meetings, stay connected with members, and have an exit plan. Bob, it's back to you.
Do research on meetings where you are going so that you can go there while you're visiting for the holidays.
That is a great suggestion if you're traveling out of town. It's not on the board. But back to you, Alice. We have 2
We're killing it, Alice. We really
killing
are.
it. We're killing it. Okay, I'm ready. Find a newcomer to help.
Ooh, help a newcomer. That's not on the board, though that is a great suggestion. So far we have number 1, go to meetings, attend meetings. Number 2, stay connected with members, calls, texts. And I don't know, maybe, helping a newcomer is a part of that.
Yeah.
And have an exit plan. Okay, we've got 2 left. I'm going to give you one more shot at it.
Bob, you can even out the score here. You could catch up with me.
How do we stay sober and stress-free during the holidays?
There's an obvious one we haven't said.
Wait. Overeat?
Wait a minute. Ding, 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 ding. Nourishment.
Nourishment. Oh, okay.
Rest and
That's
nourishment.
what I meant.
Get enough sleep and food is number 4 on our list. It's kind of like halt-ish. Halt being, am I hungry, angry, lonely, or tired? We've got one more on the board. Alice?
You ready?
You know what it is. Because you said a moment ago, there's one more.
Yeah, I was lying.
Oh.
Here's my guess. You ready?
Yep.
It's a blank. It's a whole blank.
I'll give you a hint. What's the first thing we do in the morning?
Pray and meditate.
Pray and meditate is it. Ding, 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 ding.
Bob, both of us are going to get put out of AA. They're going to be like, what kind of people are y'all?
You've been sober for 38 years. I've been sober for almost 41 years. How are we doing it?
I don't know. It's obviously not with prayer and meditation. Man, we are in trouble.
Please don't tell my sponsor. I'll never hear the end.
I know.
Well, it's hard to think on the spot. So, our top five by frequency from the survey from the Global Speakers Group in Shanghai, China, and the On Awakening Group in Melbourne, Australia are: go to meetings, attend meetings, schedule, plan around them. 2, stay connected with members. 3, prayer, meditation, higher power. 4, rest and nourishment, halt. 5, have an exit plan wherever you go. And avoid family at all costs. No,
No, not that one. That was on the list.
that is not one of them. Thanks for playing. Olis, are you going to go down to the clubhouse gym and work out? Or you could now go to the beautiful sunlit coffee bar, which is on the rooftop.
Free at last. Free at last.
Thanks for dropping by, Olis.
Thank you for having me.
Our 12 Steps is a brand new collection of stories from AA members about working the program's 12 Steps of Recovery. Each chapter illuminates a different step through the experiences of a wide variety of AA members. This volume features all new, up-to-date stories from the pages of Grapevine, the International Journal of Alcoholics Anonymous. This is great for sponsees and step meetings, and it's only $13.99 at aagrapevine.org/books.
My name is Suzy W. I'm an alcoholic. I have a home group. It's the There Is a Solution group. We meet in Cary, North Carolina. I have a sobriety date. It is October 23rd, 2012. And thanks, guys, for having me on today. I love to talk corrections, so I have a feeling this is going to be a good time.
Well, good, because I could use some correction.
Yeah, I can vouch for that.
Suzy, what was going on in 2012 for you that brought you to AA?
Well, in 2012, I did not know alcohol was the problem. I had moved from East Tennessee to North Carolina, where I got sober, and I'd been involved in a car wreck. And, that ended up, I was in jail. I'd never been in trouble before. I had seriously injured 2 people due to that car wreck. And, somehow a week's time went by before when I had that car accident and when I was in treatment, 30 days of treatment. And that treatment center introduced me to Alcoholics Anonymous. In 2012, I was spiritually bankrupt, morally bankrupt, emotionally bankrupt. I was never suicidal or anything like that. But if I was like, well, maybe I don't wake up tomorrow, that'd probably be okay.
Yeah, yeah.
Just one of those things where did not care about life, quite frankly.
It's a kind of suicidal.
Yeah. And you were at such a moment of despair at that point along the line. At what point did you cross over the line where the light bulb came on and you went, this might be alcoholism that I have?
I'm not entirely sure. I was in jail for a night. And then when I got out of jail, I immediately, from the advice of an attorney, went and had an alcohol assessment done. And it was this sweet old man named Lou. And I was completely honest about my drinking with him. And he just looked at me and he said, you're going to treatment. And I didn't really know what that meant. Like I knew rehab because all the celebrities then were like going to rehab. I didn't know what
Yes.
treatment was. It's the same thing. If you're listening, it's the same thing.
Yeah.
And
You were appearing in sanitariums and hospitals at this point,
yes.
which is the same thing.
And so when I got to that treatment center, I was like, oh my gosh, alcohol. It never crossed my mind that alcohol was a problem for me. I drank for about 5.5 years and I drank alcoholically that entire time, but you just could not have told me like, hey, this isn't a problem for you.
Hmm. For me, it was the solution to all my problems until I came to AA. Not only that, I can't quit.
They taught me a lot in that treatment center, and I'm not here to knock treatment centers. I've done inpatient, outpatient, did this 30-day intensive IOP. I went to prison. I did the treatment facility in the prison. But I can assure you today that I'm sober because that treatment center took us to meetings of Alcoholics Anonymous that met in this little train depot in this small town where I went to treatment in North Carolina. I was introduced to AA in that treatment center, and I knew Hey, I have what these guys have. I'm
Hmm.
sure. I'm sure. I can't tell you what they said. I can't tell you what the meetings were about. I have no idea, but I knew that I had what they had. I knew that I was going to do what they did. All that information for me personally about what alcohol does in your body and, all hey, that's all great. I'm not knocking it. But I prayed to God in that treatment center to help me. And the members of AA told me to do that, ask for help.
Hmm.
God showed up.
So, because of the crime, you ended up actually going to a correctional facility, serving time. Is that correct?
I did. I was a month sober in that treatment facility, 2 months sober in Raleigh, North Carolina, in AA. And I had a home group, I had a sponsor, I was working the steps. And, then it came time for me to be sentenced. And I was sentenced to prison. I was in prison for a year. And, I was told, you're not special, you're not unique, you're going somewhere where the women may never have an opportunity to know what Alcoholics Anonymous is like outside of that facility. And it is your responsibility to help them. It is your responsibility to explain what a relationship with God looks like, to explain, men and women drink for the effect produced by alcohol. You have a duty here. And I'm so glad that the women in my first home group
Whoa.
really helped me do that because I didn't think I had anything to give.
No
I'm like
kidding.
I barely know anything about AA.
They turned it around from. I could see how you would feel like you're a victim. AA didn't help you. Now you still got to go to prison.
Well, it really wasn't like that for me personally at all. The day I left that 30-day treatment center, a woman from Alcoholics Anonymous took me to a meeting, took me to a group, Three Legacy group in Raleigh. And she explained to me, you don't come to AA to find an attorney, to find a boyfriend, to try to get out of trouble. You can get a paper signed and give it to the court if you want to, but you are here to get sober, form a relationship with God, and help other women. And if you're not here for that, then I'll find someone else to help that is here for that reason. And I thank God for that every single day. That is what I need to hear. I need the truth. I don't need, like lovey-dovey, watered down Alcoholics Anonymous. I need women to be honest with me. And, they did help me. Those women are still my best friends today.
Wow.
So, were you able to participate in meetings in the prison? And did they have meetings? Because a lot of prisons, as you know, don't.
Yes, so there are meetings. All three of the facilities where I was housed, there were groups of AA. And before I went in, some of the members of my home group said, "Hey, we'll introduce you to some of the women that take the meetings in." And I kind of didn't want anything to do with that. I'm like, oh, I'm scared. Now I'm going to know someone and they're going to expect me at the meeting. So I knew some of those ladies. The kind of scary part, I guess, for me, where the fear came in, I was in processing. If you've never been to prison, you have to get processed. You usually go to a maximum facility prison to get processed and they decide if you're minimum custody, medium custody. I was in processing for much longer than most people are. I don't know what was going on at that time. I'm sure something within the prison was happening. You can't have books, you can't make phone calls. And I met a girl who had been sober. She told me for like a year. And I was like, oh my gosh. And she knew about AA. And we tried to like write out how it works and the steps, from memory. And we started working the steps together. And I did a third step with
Ah,
her. And I got to participate in meetings of Alcoholics Anonymous. Those women brought their home groups in there. They didn't talk about things they normally wouldn't talk about at an AA meeting. They weren't trying to be hard. They weren't trying to make their story sound like worse than it was or better than it was. They were sharing a message of hope and a message of recovery. I knew they were recovered alcoholics and I knew they had a relationship with God. And it was just so incredible for these women to come in and say, hey, we don't care if you're an atheist. We don't care if you're agnostic. You can go to the church services here. AA has nothing to do with that. No opinion, but you need to have a relationship with a higher power. It was just incredible to me, such a special experience. Very special to still see those women in and around the Raleigh area.
I think that that's one of the things as a volunteer, when you go in, people are watching what you do.
Hmm.
Just because it's a prison doesn't mean that you should be using any language you wouldn't use normally. But I think also, I would say clean it up. I mean, you really have to be aware that people are watching you. Be yourself and share your story and realize, yes, you're in a prison, but at the same time, it's one alcoholic talking to another. And I think that's the most important thing. And the other thing is that the people that are in there are Alcoholics Anonymous in there as well. It's not like as a volunteer, you come in and you bring it. They are a community in the facility as well.
That's right.
So you said what you're saying is they didn't do anything special. They brought their home group to the prison and had a meeting.
Yeah, they use their home group format. You know, you probably could have been at their home group on a Tuesday night and the prison on a Wednesday night and received the same message. They didn't change it. They didn't need to do anything special or bring different literature in or change the topic or have a newcomer meeting just because some new people are there. You know, they were
Right.
really there to share a message.
So did you continue working the steps?
I did all 12 steps while I was incarcerated.
Uh-huh.
You know, it was always my personal responsibility as a woman who had been given the message. It was my responsibility to share that with other women. So, yeah, we did the steps through the mail. She would come in and other members of Alcoholics Anonymous and visit, and we would work the steps in the visitation room also. I wrote letters,
Are you talking about a men's letters?
yeah, with my sponsor and other women's help. And I didn't want to. This was like before they had the tablets and email. I did not want that stamp from the prison on the envelope, you know, and I would always try to like tell my sponsor, well, I can send the letters to you and then you can put them in a different envelope. And she just said, like, no, I'm not doing that. Everyone knows where you are. You were on the news, actually. So it's not going to be a surprise. Because I had read ahead in the book and I just really didn't think I was going to have to do all of the steps. You know, I believed, well, I'll just wait until I get out and do some of this. I'll just do my best to make it through this prison sentence. And then I'll continue to clean up my life. And that would have been, I would have been at such a disadvantage of the people, the women that I could help had I been so selfish to not work all of the steps.
When you were in the facility, did you find opportunities to do 12-step work? Because one of the things that's been interesting in working with guys at the facility where I go is that they have had other inmates sponsor them.
I did. And, you know, I think the beautiful thing about Alcoholics Anonymous is you just need a book. And quite frankly, you may not even have the book Alcoholics Anonymous. Yes, I was able to, you know, at first, I just figured if you're in prison, you probably have an alcohol problem. I mean, that's just, you know, that made sense to me. So I was like really trying to force people to get sober. I mean, in a nice way. But I would carry around my big book and everyone in my pod knew that I was doing this like different thing. Like, you know, she get kneels at her bed and prays and it's weird. And I remember, you know, telling women around me, like, hey, this is what I'm doing and why. Do you want to read this book with me? And the number of times that I started reading the book, I mean, I probably couldn't even tell you how many. You know, I would start reading it with people and they may not want it. And once again, I had women who were writing me and helping me, and they said, hey, if they don't want it, find someone else. It's not your job to beat people over the head with this book and say, no, you need to get sober. You know, I sponsored several women while I was incarcerated, and it was always told to me, you can start doing these things while you're incarcerated. Go pick up trash on the yard, you know, give back to your community in the way that you can. So I had, you know, a few ladies that I was sponsoring and reading the book with and taking through the step the best I could. I really felt like I was not worthy, unprepared, didn't even only halfway had a clue about how I had done the steps. But I did start working these steps with other women and sponsoring them. And even though I felt like I didn't know what I was doing, even though, you know, I had only read the same words that the woman sitting next to me was reading in the book, you know, there are directions in the book, Alcoholics Anonymous, on how to take all of the steps. So we would read that and we would do them. Even though I felt like I didn't have a clue, we would pray, we would ask God, please be with us, be with our thoughts, be with our actions. Well, we want to be open and willing and honest. somehow it worked out.
After what they say, you are off paper for a year. Every state has a different way that they operate with this. You were eligible to go back into the facility, and that is something that you have done. Could you describe what it was like when you were eligible for that and had the first opportunity to go back in?
I sure can, Bob. I know why you're asking this because it is a very frequent annoyance, and it certainly was for me. Never wanted to talk about prison or go back in, but my sponsor said, "Hey, you're filling this out and you're going to give back." So I did. It did take several years for me to get approved to go back in. And the way that I look at that is I'm not being punished. I don't need to call up the prison and be like, "Hey, do you know that I have a message to give?" I just had to be patient. And there was a lot of other service to be done. I love corrections. It has my heart. It is my experience. But I also do other service. I'm not sitting around and waiting to be able to go into a prison.
And if you're interested in AA corrections, go to aa.org. It's corrections correspondence, a special kind of AA service. And I know a lot of people who have been sponsored through the mail with that facilities that don't have access to a meeting.
Suzy, thanks for being here. This has been a great discussion.
Thank you so much for having me.
I subscribe to the Grapevine because it shares us. It shares our experience. It connects me to you. And I have found that the most powerful part of this program is identification. When I read the Grapevine and I read others' stories, I identify and I know that I'm not alone ever. My name's Janice M. I am an alcoholic. My sobriety date is December 14th, 2007, and my home group is Sobriety Rocks in Carlsbad.
Thanks to everyone who subscribes to the Grapevine magazine in print or in the AA Grapevine app. Your support makes this podcast possible.
$3 a month? Come on.
I'm at the very wit's end. Cuckoo. Paula, I'm so sorry your husband died.
Yes, it's very sad.
Well, what happened?
He had cirrhosis of the liver.
Oh, did he ever go to AA?
Oh my goodness. Oh no. He wasn't that bad.
It's really not that funny. Thanks for joining us. The AA Grapevine Half-Hour Variety Hour is posted every Monday and is produced by AA Grapevine, Inc. We don't speak for AA as a whole. We share the experience, strength, and hope of members to help others recover from alcoholism. All things Grapevine are available at aagrapevine.org, including our app and how to get in touch with us. Find us on Instagram and YouTube. If you want to know more about AA, visit aa.org or search online for Alcoholics Anonymous and your city.